Hi guys, this is Karthik Arora and welcome to the next episode of Spotlight with Katie. Today I have Altamash Faraz. Altamash is Mr. India 2017 and Mr. Supranational Asia and Oceania 2018. Altamash is an actor and loves traveling. So without wasting any further time, let me invite Altamash for you.
Hey Katie, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well.
How was your day?
Well, the day is beautiful. We have got a sunny, wintry afternoon and we're working from home. How can it get any better?
And thank you for being on my show
Well,
today.
it's my pleasure.
And there's so much that I need to ask you.
Well, I'm all up for it.
Alright, so we are going to start an interview right now. So what does the name Altamash mean and how is Altamash as a person?
Well, the name Altamash means it's synonym of a ruler. So it means the one who rules. And Altamash as a person, I'm still trying to find that out. I'm still exploring and yet to find my answers. But in one word, if I'd say Altamash is a seeker. He seeks things that exist, that don't exist. And so he's just a seeker, finding answers about life as much as he can.
So how did you prepare for Mr. India? What all were your groundwork or homework that you thought that this is required for me to actually gear up for this one?
Well, actually, if I say honestly, my preparation for Mr. India, that was the domestic pageant, that was not a very holistic preparation because I just happened to be there in the right time. But I had prepared a lot for my international pageant. But the thing was, I would always say that I never prepared for the pageant itself. I was always preparing for life. I was always trying to be better. I was always developing my personality, my communications, not just for the pageant. So that's what I always tell even all the aspiring people who want to get into pageants, that pageants are a small part of your life. You should, always aim for the bigger race. So if you're aiming for a higher race, then obviously if it's a pageant, if it's your office job or anything at all, if it's the glamour industry, it helps you somewhere. So I guess that's how I prepared for it and it was pretty good, yeah.
Okay, so what all aspects do you think is important for people who actually want to get into this? What are the other basically qualities that you think is necessity for any aspirant in the field?
In the field of pageants or in the field
of pageants to begin with?
Yeah, I guess in the field of pageants, they look for a person who's unique. So when I say unique, you need to be very, very honest to your own self. You need to know yourself as a person first, because a lot of time when I speak to the youngsters these days, they are not very clear about themselves. They're very impressionable. They think they are what is their surroundings, what they like, and that keeps changing. That's very volatile. So once you understand who you are as a person, that's when the jury who's in the pageant, that's what they are looking for, a person who's honest. But there are a few basic things that you need to have, like you need to be very humble, you need to be a person with a good heart, you need to be honest to your own self, and you need to be a person who's very real, who knows his own self. So I guess if you have that kind of abilities and then add on to that whatever you are, just be real. Don't try to add on things which are not inherently there in your personality. I guess those are things which work. Otherwise, every person is unique in their own way. They're not looking for a prototype who fits into the mold of a Mr. India or a Miss India for that matter. They are just looking for a person who's real in his own sense, who is confident to represent a country, because they look for a person who could actually represent our India at an international pageant. So you need to take that kind of responsibility on your shoulders. You need to carry on that. So I guess they're looking for that kind of a person.
So before entering and after winning, what is the change that you find in yourself? How did you change as a person?
Well, I guess the whole journey, it went on for about a month, the whole Mr. India pageant. I guess it was one of the biggest exploration about myself, because when I went into the pageant, I was, as every young guy is, ambitious and everything. But through the process, I realized that there are things that are higher beyond your own self. That's what I realized, and I would say that one month was pretty much kind of an exploratory journey that started from there. And since then, I've just taken on that for life, because I'm just exploring about my own self, about life. But I guess it just was a perspective shift in my life. I used to think like a normal person before I entered the pageant. But after the pageant, I would say that things change through the exposure. The kind of training and the kind of exposure you get through the organization, that is the Times of India and the Miss India organization, they really grill you. They really make you believe that you can do things, and they also break you down so that, you know, the most important thing I learned was that, you know, you need to unlearn in life a lot, at a lot of times, because you may think that you know a lot of things, but at a lot of times because you cannot teach a man what he already knows, right? So you need to unlearn, see the broader perspective, and then probably become capable of things that are required for life and the projects you're working on, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you represent on a national level, you're representing a country.
Right.
What are the kind of pressures, or what are the kind of confidence, or what is the kind of goosebumps that comes into you when you go on an international platform like that?
Well, I guess for the international pageant, when you're in the process, you don't realize it at that moment, because there's so much. It is a very overwhelming process for anyone, because when you are in the process of it, you don't realize that you are representing India. You know, of course, that you are going for a pageant, but you are surrounded by a lot of things that you need to work on, so the whole focus is not on the result, that I am going to win or anything. It's just that giving your best. The whole focus and the energy needs to be on your own self, not in the pageant. But I guess it is a matter of pride when you represent the country, and then when you're called as India rather than your own name. When you go on that stage, you're not known by your own name, you're known by as India whenever you're referred to. So that is a matter of pride. Apart from that, I guess it's a very beautiful process. So I guess that was beyond my expectations to have experienced that. Yeah.
So for the boys out there who want to step into fashion or pageants,
Right.
what is your insights for them that they need to keep in mind when they enter this industry?
Yeah. So I guess when we talk about pageants and modeling and pageants are quite different industries, but people kind of look at them in a similar way because they are into the glamour field. But when we solely talk about pageants, well, pageant is like something when you need a personality from the inside. So the whole development of a person needs to be on the inside. Like you need to have a very clear opinion, you need to have very clear mind, what you need to know. That is more important and required in a pageant. Because when we're talking about pageants, you are going to represent the country. So they are looking for a delegate who could take on the shoulder, you know, kind of in that way. So when we talk about pageants and modeling, pageants solely is not just about your whole personality, but it's more about your inner self. You need to have a very clear mind, because you know the whole judgment that is taken care of in a pageant is based on what you think and what's inside your head, what you are as a person. You need to have a very clear and a precise mind when you are entering a pageant, because if you don't know your own self, then you are going to be lost in a pageant. When I talk about the youngsters, when they ask me that what is required to be, you know, get into a pageant, they need to know that most of the people, they think that good-looking people and anybody who has a good body would easily get into a pageant, but that's not the case. If you consider the winners, they're not the most good-looking guys or just with the great bodies, because the criteria is about the whole personality. You need to firstly have a charming personality, you need to be chivalrous, you need to have good mannerism, you need to be well spoken, and a lot of things that create, you know, you need to know how to lead, you need to know how to be a people's person, you know, that kind of things add up for a person. And basically they're not looking for a person who is just good looking or would be great on the stage. They're looking for a person who could take on that legacy, because that legacy of the Miss India organization is a very old legacy, right? They are looking for a person who could take on that kind of legacy forward. When we talk about modeling, for the modeling, I guess the youngsters need to know what is the trade, because that's a business, right? When we talk about modeling, you need to be precise, you need to know, because even in modeling there are different, you know, sectors of modeling, like commercial modeling, which is like the print modeling for the TV commercials, the kind of campaigns you do for designers or for the companies or the brands. Like right now, currently, there are a lot of things like going on, like influencers, which are also not in the ambit of modeling but are considered more or less in the same way these days. But when you talk about modeling, you need to know that a good model is what? A good model is one who is a representation of a brand. So you need to, if you are, for example, you're doing a campaign, you need to know, you need to be friendly with the camera. You need to know how to pose in front of the camera. And these days, a lot of youngsters, they think that if you want to start modeling, you need to have a great photo shoot or thing. But that is not at all required these days. It's just that basic Polaroids. You just send it out to agencies. Polaroids is basically, pictures which are taken without makeups and just in a broad daylight and from different angles. So you just get those done and send it to all the agencies that you can. Because initially, if you start with an agency, it's great because they know the whole network. They can pitch you for good work. They also train you in a sense that you know how to pitch yourself, because that's more important, because when you are young in the trade, you are exploited a lot because you don't know what is your value, what kind of grooming you need. So the agency is a good place to start in if you're considering professional modeling. So you just get those Polaroids done. No need for a photo shoot or anything, because youngsters these days spend a lot of exorbitant amount getting a photo shoot done. Get those Polaroids done and make some introduction videos. Have them in hand all the time. If like every month you should have your Polaroids, keep changing them, keep them in handy. Have a profile, the kind of work you've done in the past. If you know no work, just send it across to the agencies. The agencies will take it then forward for you. And I guess that's the professional and the safest way to start with modeling. Posing, one thing is very important. You need to know how to pose in front of the camera. Then if you're considering going for TV commercials, then there are a lot of casting directors who take auditions. You need to know and send them your introduction videos. And if you happen to be in the same city, go into their office, drop down and just give an introduction and just have so these kind of people, the whole point is that the network of people that are actually doing the work, they should know you. Like there is this person who wants to work, and if you're good, they'll call you for the work. So that is the most professional way to go about it, I guess, and that's how these youngsters should be doing it.
So like a lot of youngsters these days use Instagram to post so many pictures out there.
Yeah.
Will that be counted as a work link? Can they submit that and say, okay, this is the kind of picture I have? Because it's a lot of edited, there are a lot of filters they use. Or the Polaroids is the only best way to hit the agencies and the...
Well, when you talk about the glamour industry or the modeling or the acting field, nothing is a formal way of going about it. Everyone has their own way, everyone has their own discoveries in this field. So there is no particular blueprint about going for a particular job. For example, if you're talking about modeling, if you're talking about acting. But yeah, if you talk about Instagram, it is a very, very high probability place where you can be discovered by a lot of people. It's a great place to get, network with the casting directors, with a lot of people that you can't reach out to in the real world. And it happens to be that if you're popular, if you have a good following on the Instagram, you happen to be on the explore list of a lot of people. So it's a great way to be explored in a sense. So see, everything has its pros and cons. It depends on you if you use it as a boon or a bane, right? But when you talk about work link, it depends on the kind of work you're looking for. For example, if I talk about precisely, like for example, if you're talking about reality shows or TV, there are a lot of times that people these days are considering the kind of following you have for a job. Like for example, if you want to go for a reality show, they would obviously look for the kind of followers you have on Instagram. But if you're going for an acting job, it doesn't really matter if you have one follower or a million followers, because what they're looking for is the talent. People these days, they don't really, look about that. They don't prepare themselves for the talent. They want to go about a shortcut or anything. But as I said, that everyone has their own way. There is no blueprint. So you never know. You gotta try. and you got to try and fail and try and see what works for you. So Instagram, in a sense, is not just a work link. Or even when I say Polaroids, if you have like a good photo shoot, you can send. I mean, for example, if you talk about photo shoots, these days there are so many people with cameras. Everybody is a photographer, be it habitual or professional. Everybody has friends who've got great cameras. Even the phones you carry these days, they've got amazing cameras. So it's not that you need Polaroids. If you have Polaroids, these are things that must if you're going for an agency, because they really ask for it. If you don't have Polaroids, get them done. And when you talk about like professional pictures, even a phone camera could give you a nice photo shoot. It depends on the kind of so when I talk about knowing the trade, you need to know how to pose. You need to be a great subject. Like for example, if you are experienced or any experienced model, even if there is an amateur photographer, they would know their way around how to get great pictures, because they would advise them, they would tell them, they would pose in front of the camera. So that contributes to getting a great picture. So you need to know what is required, the skills that are required. The more skills that you'll have in your personality, the more confident that you'll be, and you will know how to go about it. When you're going for an introduction, you need to know what to say, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and basically you need to know how to act. You need to be comfortable in front of the camera. That's the most important thing.
So when you're saying your inner self is the most important thing, what is that one must not do for all the freshers out there? Like, please don't try these 4 things. This is not required.
Well, I would say that that kind of thing is, I would say, don't be too impatient. That's the most important thing, I would say. Because this thing takes a lot of time, so you need to be really, really patient. If you're reaching out to someone, if you're going for an audition, if you're going to meet a casting director, don't expect them to, just respond to you immediately, because everybody is loaded with work, right? So they can't respond to you at the same time. But you need to be patient, or if times you don't get a reply, don't get a great response, that the kind of response you're looking for, then you need to also know that the kind of things that are lacking in you need to be accepting to the feedback they give you. You need to be seeking for the kind of feedback, the positive feedback. Take it in a constructive way, work those things on yourself, and then probably go back again, because this field is somewhere where you fail every day, you get rejected every day. You gotta every day wake up, go find work for yourself until you're an established actor or a model. Go find work for yourself. This is the initial years. If you are up for the grind, then it's good. Otherwise, you should not take it as a hobby, because a lot of times people think that this field of modeling, acting, or a pageant or anything, this is a very easy peasy thing. You can just go, be good looking, pose in front of the camera, and then you're done. It's not. There is a lot of grind that goes behind it. There is a lot of preparation that goes behind it. You have to, when you're having a photo shoot, you need to have work on your bodies. You need to, if you're going for an acting job, you need to work on your scripts, you need to work on your characters, you need to work on the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you look, everything is counted when you're working for the camera. So you need the kind of preparation that requires a lot of sacrifice, because the day is gonna be really less for you if you're looking for that kind of preparation. But you need to prioritize what you want in life and then focus on those things and be patient with them. Yep.
So I have some interesting questions that I want to ask Altamash, and I want him to get stuck somewhere. Let's see if that happens. A smart, quirky, rapid fire. Are you ready?
I guess this is the danger area now. Okay, I'm ready.
Your favorite destination in the world?
I'd say Italy.
Hills or beaches?
Hills.
A girl you would like to date?
Well, the qualities?
No, the name.
The name?
Can be from the past as well.
Yeah, I'd say Rani Gayatri Devi. She's very graceful and she's
Oh,
beautiful. So I would say her.
Social media for you is?
Social media for me is a way to explore into people's lives,
Okay.
and also just passing time, I guess.
Acting or modeling?
Acting.
Okay. Bollywood or Hollywood?
Well, to me it's just a craft, so I don't really dissect between the two. As long as whichever is making nicer movies, I want to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
A Netflix series or any series that you would want to be a part of?
A Netflix series. Well, I have a lot of in mind, but if I had to take a particular one in mind, I would say something like a rom-com. Like I really liked one of the series that was on Netflix. That was Emily in Paris. So I guess I would want to do a male version of Emily in Paris sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Casting couch for you is?
Casting couch for me is just being blinded by things. I guess you need to have your own brains and see what how to work your way around.
Okay. And how would you plan a romantic dinner date?
Plan a romantic dinner date. I guess for me, it's not about the place, it's not about the date, it's about the conversation and the person. So if the person is happening and I'm feeling connected to that person, everything is romantic for me.
Okay. 5 must things in your bag when you travel.
Most things. I would say something like my mobile phone, because that really allows me to be connected with the technology and also the things that I need for the travels. And my car, I would say, because then I really like going on road trips. Apart from that, if depending on the kind of place I'm going to, the clothes, because I really like to click pictures and I want to look good in them. And apart from that, I guess not much. I'm a very minimalistic kind of a person. I guess this would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
The easiest way to seduce you?
Seduce me. Well, I would say that would be to have a great conversation, because I'm quite a sapiosexual in that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one last message for all your fans out there.
Well, I just want to say that have a good life. Just enjoy. Don't take life too seriously. Just be on a journey and remember the temporary nature of life, and just be happy and pursue happiness. I guess that's it.
So these were my questions to Altamash. So if you liked the episode, do like, comment, subscribe and share. Thank you so much.